Something?
Hello, I've been asked to make sure that you stay muted during the meeting. If you want to speak, you need to raise your hand. Something about feedback. Okay.
Joan online.
Yeah, I'm online.
Dalian's here.
I can't hear anyone either, Aileen.
So do you think they're just not started yet?
Yeah, I think that they are muted. They're
Mm.
still muted, so I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, well, as long as they remember to unmute when they
Yeah,
start muting.
yeah.
Mm.
So if not, we'll try to get a message to them. Oh, they just unmuted.
We still don't have everybody here yet, so give it a couple of minutes.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
thanks.
Fine, not panicking. I just thought it might be some technological glitch.
Go ahead and try everything on and all right. Okay, find the mouse. There you go. You can see everybody now. So wait, actually close the chat.
True annoying.
So they've been asked to stay muted
Okay.
unless they are going to speak, just because there might be some feedback.
Okay. All right. Well,
One second. I'm actually going to stop us for 1 second. I'm having technical issues.
oh,
Okay, so we're having some problems with the live stream. For whatever reason, it's not connecting. So we can go ahead and start the meeting, and then if Chris comes to try and fix it, because I couldn't get hold of him. If he comes to try and fix it, maybe we'll take a break. Sound good? So you guys don't have to be unmuted for this part, because I'm not worried about echoing if there's no video feed. I'll leave it to Darlene to call us to order.
okay. Hi, um. This is the Municipal Truth and Reconciliation Committee meeting for Tuesday, January the 20th at 11 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. And online, we have Joan Costco, Counselor Joan Costco. And we also have Aileen Urquhart from the Truth and Reconciliation Committee member, and she's with the United Church. But anyway, and then in the room here is Naomi and what's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle. Michelle, yeah, and are we on? We're on or?
No, we're not on, and he'll be up in a minute to try.
Okay, and then our support staff, so the two support staff, the other members couldn't, Brent couldn't make it, so. Okay, so we call the meeting to order now. And number 2, the land acknowledgement. Did anybody want to read that out?
I will. I'm Dave. Oh, I'm the other. As we start our meeting, we acknowledge we are on the traditional territory of Lac Seul First Nation, Obishki-Gogan within Treaty 3, and that many of the people and communities that we serve in Sioux Lookout, traditionally known as Wanekawagayan, meaning Bay of Sandy Beaches, come from Treaties 5 and 9 of the Anishinaabe Nation.
Thank you, Naomi. Okay, number 3, the agenda. 3A, introduction of amendments to the agenda. Comments, okay. 3B, confirmation of the agenda. We need a mover and a seconder.
Moves
Eileen and Michelle. Thank you. All in agreement? Yeah, show of hands. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we shall move on to number 4, declarations of pecuniary interest. There are none. So number 5 now.
What was that?
I don't know what that means, pecuniary.
If we're talking about anything that you might have financial interest in, you have to take yourself out of the conversation and you don't have voting ability at that point.
All right, that's fine. Okay, number 5, the adoption of the minutes from December 9th, 2005, and everybody was either given or sent them, and I reviewed them, they look fine. We need a mover. Joan moves. And
You can't
Michelle
second. You weren't here. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't here.
there either.
You came in late.
Right?
Mhm.
Did I?
Well, we read them.
Because Brent asked me if I.
If you would take over yet.
Okay, sorry, I'll second it. It just seems like we're just,
It was right there, right?
yeah. Okay, so all in favor? Yes. Okay, yeah. All right. And number 6, business arising from the minutes.
Start updates, eh? But
Pardon?
it's in there. Or updates. Yeah.
We'll probably talk about everything then. That's on there anyway.
Thank you, Megan, for the updated work plan.
I goes to council tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad we're having our meeting.
Format.
Yes. Mm.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll move on to number 7 now, delegations, presentations, and committee presentations. Being around, there are none. So we'll move on to number 8, items for discussions. So the first one is number one, gala viability concerns. Would like. Huh?
A few of us.
So I sent the email that I sent explaining that I had concerns that this is very, very close.
Yeah.
And that some things had not yet happened. And I know that Naomi responded that she had similar concerns. So maybe she should actually.
I have no problem
Yeah.
Okay.
bringing them to rise. I mean, like, they're discussion pieces, so we're good.
Should we talk about what we do have in place?
That will be addressed, definitely. Are we going into discussion right now?
Yeah.
I thought we were still going through agenda, my bad. Okay. All right, so
Gala.
number one, so gala viability concerns. I had voiced my concerns in the email that just stated like we have a tight timeline to be able to do this. I understand that we already have the venue, those relationships and opportunities to work with people in community. So we're not negating the efforts that have been done and already been put in place. As a group, Brent, myself, and Darlene met, and we were able to go through some of the nomination criteria, which we did give in a handout, which I know you ladies don't have online. So I'll read it out for you. And it is just a letter, and also then developing a nomination criteria form. So I'll just read. It says the municipality of Sioux Lookouts Truth and Reconciliation Committee will be hosting a gala to honor, celebrate people and organizations who initiate or foster unity and achievements towards reconciliation. That's not in there. This initial gala event is an opportunity to nominate someone from the community that has been identified to have or promoted awareness, strengthened, support, or driven change towards reconciliation and community. As we begin to identify and seek out ideas and criteria, we welcome insight for the future. And that is kind of more or less there to identify if there's another kind of theme or award that we want to be given. Our initial gala will be to honor and acknowledge those in community who are change makers and to further build upon a good foundation towards future opportunities to be living, promoting, and working with each other. This year's nominations will be 9 categories with 10 distinct awards. Now, youth, 5 to 17. This award is to recognize a youth for their initiative and role modeling and/or leadership values that support reconciliation. Young adult, 18 to 29. This award is to recognize a young adult for their initiative and role modeling and/or leadership values that support reconciliation. Education as an individual. This award is to recognize an individual that fosters a fundamental role in sharing education, awareness, or creating opportunities for others to participate in reconciliation. Corporation or private sector. This award is to recognize a group by a corporation and or private sector organization that shows action and commitment to reconciliation. Non-for-profit, another group award. This award is to recognize group leadership by a corporation and or private sector organization that shows action and commitment to reconciliation. Advocacy, and our terms for advocacy were along the resiliency, a survivor, a knowledge keeper that has gone through this. So this award is to recognize historical resiliency and advocacy towards the commitment of reconciliation. Sports. This award is to recognize the achievements of an individual that engages education, educates, provides awareness, and shares a commitment towards reconciliation through their activity. I hope somebody's taking these down because there's a few edits.
Engages in education awareness and shares the commitment.
Miigwech. Arts, music, and entertainment. This award is to recognize the achievements of an individual that engages in education, awareness, and shares a commitment towards reconciliation. We have 2 awards for elders or knowledge keepers. This award is to recognize the achievement of an elder or a knowledge keeper that continues to educate, bring awareness, support, and mentoring for future generations. Working with the community partners, we hope to see your nomination. Please send a completed nomination form to email, and then we give up a. Yes. Oh, and we put March 31st as our designated date. So again, going back to some of the time constraints, and the opportunity to promote this. We need to find out what our aggressive,
We're gonna get things out there fast.
yeah, because like, even like if I complete this by this week, like Friday, whatever, I gotta give myself a timeline too. So if we complete it by this Friday, that is now the end of January, and that is a month and a half, 2 months to get nominations out there, make sure the word's out there, build up some of that buzz around it. I know we have some concerns with the Facebook page because we're not sure what we can share on there. Are we, as a Truth and Reconciliation Committee, able to put something in the newspaper where we don't have the funds right now? Like, there were some constraints. We have been able to, through the sponsorship of the program, get one sponsor right now. And I think we have a budget of anywhere from 10 to 12,000. I'm gonna wager. So those are some of my concerns as to why and again, there's nothing wrong with pushing things back. It's just if we are going to be moving things ahead, we have to have like a very distinct timeline on what's going to happen. And we don't have to make it big at first. It can be something that blossoms, but we just need to be able to see how, what those initial things are. So we're looking at the awards. We now have these distinct 10 awards. We've talked previously about in people who are invited as well as, and people who have been nominated, their families, and then 100-person capacity. So
My concern with this year is if you don't have them until March back and you don't choose people, you can't personalize their awards. You don't, I mean, that's something we talked about, having something carved specifically for people. Would we not like to be identifying who they are and what they were nominated for? There's not going to be time for that.
unless you do placards, which again still takes time because you could go through Dryden or Winnipeg or Thunder Bay. And again, these are like, we have pieces in place. So the discussion really is about like the timeline. It is aggressive, and I don't know. I said I'd be working on this over the weekend, and I got sidelined with a few other things. So like, we're all volunteers here. We need to like look at our support staff. We need to look at those people who are volunteer, also the people who are able to participate, their schedule. And that's why I'm saying I'm not against having it, but like either we bring it way down or we go with it and we just see what happens. And
I'm
that's what go ahead.
I'm sort of the mindset that we have to go with it because if we don't, because we were going to do it last year, we pushed it ahead. And to coordinate to get the caterer, the event, the MC, and the keynote speaker on the same day took a lot of, wrangling, and we've done that. So when I return from vacation next week, which is on Sunday, I'm planning on, and now that we know how many awards we have, I'm very confident that we can get award sponsor, and I'm going to try to choose each thing and get people to sponsor. So we already have like the venue, the MC, the keynote speaker, the caterer. We have the hall, the venue is donated. So for our finances, in my mind, we have the $2,000 from the Truth and Reconciliation Committee. We have the $5,000 from Sioux. We have the ticket sales, which let's say is another $1,000. So we're already at 8,000. So we really only need sponsorship for 5,000, which I'm confident that the end of next week we'll have that.
I agree. I feel so too.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. So I already know who the people that I'm going to talk to. I just needed to know how many, and we have Jesse Fiddler already in place, willing to do the carvings of the feathers as the award. He's committed to that. We just need to let him know we need 10 now. And then, like you said, to get the plaques. The hard part will be once we get the nominees is to do the personalization we'll have 3 weeks. So, I think we need to partner with a couple people, like for setup and to do the actual physical work. We already have, like for the caterers, I got accommodations donated for the out-of-town chefs already. You know, I'm going to try, we have to have our own servers. So I'm going to contact the Girl Guides and see if they'll serve. We already have someone who's agreed to run the mocktails bar. So we have a lot of stuff in place. So I think it's just a matter of, you know, I think we can pull it together because we have all of, you know, 1 week left in January, February, March, and 3 weeks in April. So we have 12 weeks. So, and I'm sort of committing to work on this sort of full time for a couple of weeks to make sure we're where we need to be.
That's good,
But
you got the
yeah.
commitment.
Yeah. So I think we should just plow ahead and just hope for the best.
I guess we need to get the sponsorship letters out almost right away.
Yeah,
Bill,
my
can-
vision on that was just to go actually hand deliver them and speak to people.
Okay,
So
And
that's
then
sort of
the,
the plan next week. Yeah.
the press release should be written up for, to let people know that this will be happening. Something should be sent out to, I don't know, CKDR, Sioux Bulletin, okay, newspaper, the local area, press. I think Wausau has a radio station as well. So,
And Wasa is excited about doing anything that they can to help support any of the events. They were excited that I was on the committee and they're like, report back, we'll do what we can, let us know.
and then for the bags, I guess for the gift bags or the what do you call those bags that everybody gets?
Swag bags,
Ah,
swag bags.
yeah, the swag bags. So that stuff would need to be ordered. I think those are some of the things that need to be done almost right away within the next week. Well, hopefully that'll work out. What else?
I do have a question, Joan, sorry. You said that like there was funding that was gonna be coming out of Truth and Reconciliation. And that kind of came to 8,000, so we got the 5 that was donated in the sponsorship
Mhm.
from the one letter. What
And
did
the
you say
two-
came out?
Like our committee has $2,500. So we have to do a motion to say that we're going to spend 2 of it on this gala. And then if we
That could be
tickets,
just in principle, right? Because if there are additional sponsorships, like,
yes, that's just if we need
Okay.
it. If we don't need it, if there's money left over, you know, we could forward it to our garden project, right? So hopefully we'll have sponsorships, but in the meantime, until we get that money, we may have to allocate some of our own money, right?
and that budget was discussed of 2,000 from this committee?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we need to do a motion today
Okay, so then
to say,
it's actually not a basis, but it is a place for discussion. But
Yeah.
it like, we haven't discussed that, because I was like,
No.
what? I remember that.
no, but we did discuss, like we put in our work plan that this is what we're going to do with this money. So, because we have the $2,500 and we would need a little bit of money to run the summer events. But other than that, you know, the money could be allocated to this event.
Thank
I
you.
thought some of the money was supposed to go toward the purchasing of the garden itself.
That's why I said we haven't had the full discussion on where the funds are going to be disseminated.
Yeah.
So it was just brought up in your conversation just
Yeah.
now. So that's why I was just asking, because I'm like, I wasn't sure if that was the conversation we had. There is one thing for the work plan when we get to it. Maybe we just need to add like a dollar amount for what we'd like to budget to it, just so that we kind of see.
To add that for ourselves, this is the version that's going to council tonight or tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, for our work plan.
For ourselves.
Thank you. Just so we have another one. That way you can see where your allocated funds are going.
Mhm. And I don't
Well-
think that we have to do a motion every time we spend money, right?
No, but we have to at least have a plan.
There
Yes,
has
yeah,
to be a motion to spend money.
There, by council, it
Yes,
does,
Yes, I have to have direction to spend money.
there has to be a motion to spend money, I guess.
Okay.
So other than that, then the tight timelines and Joan, if you're confident with the 12 weeks, I mean, like, we can give it a go, definitely.
Yeah.
I just needed to ensure that we were aware that there were some timelines, because even though we have like the logistics, we don't necessarily we didn't
Detail.
have up until like last week a lot of detail. So I
Yeah.
mean, for me, it was kind of like the cart before the horse. So
Yeah.
but
I find that too, like as I was like talking to people and I didn't have like full details yet of really what's going on. They're like, okay, well, can you still do a presentation for us? So like Slam, I had approached them and talked about maybe having like a market before so that we're selling Indigenous
Mhm.
artists,
Finance.
fairs and stuff like that. And so they just want to know some more information on what this is all about. And I don't know if that's going to come out in like, a
Press.
letter, like some of these things, like what I could take some stuff together and do that, or if it's in a letter, like the letter that we're handing out to businesses, if it's gonna all be in there and I just bring that and talk. I don't know if there's other ways that we want to do a presentation for Slam.
Them and everyone else too,
And
right?
everyone else for, like how.
That's a great idea.
We want to approach them with like, this is what we're doing, this is why. What are you able to do with this? And then also, one other thing I did want to discuss today too is we've got options with Nadia being our keynote speaker. She has
MC.
no, Nadia's going to be the keynote speaker, and the MC I've approached Elliot Doxater-Wynn. He still also wants some more information, and I've given him tobacco, and I'm holding it until we have more information, and he'll accept. So with Nadia, like there's different ways that she can do her talk, and it can be art-based. It could be based on like her documentary, Muffins for Granny, or different art that she's done, and she can speak through truth and reconciliation through her art, or she can do it as like a workshop, and people understand it in a different way through her workshops. I have her resume here today too. It's 4 pages long with all the different ways that she can kind of bring it together. So if we want to talk with her, I can also arrange to have her zoom into one of our meetings if we want to just see how we want to make that happen.
That could possibly be on a subcommittee meeting,
Mhm. Yeah.
unless through the municipality, she wants to do a presentation. Because then that would fall within what we could do during a meeting. But if it's to like more or less have an idea of what she's going to speak about, I'd let her do that with the committee.
Okay.
I think the reality is, because I talked to Brian about this, is that we almost have to just do a motion to approve that we're going to spend a certain amount of money of our committee's money towards this, and everything else is going to have to be done in subcommittee. Because like Michelle just said, like you're talking to people, you're moving forward. And the reality is when you're doing a first event that's never been done before,
Yeah.
like when we're out there talking to people, we don't have everything secured. We don't know what it's going to be like. We have visions. We all have visions that are going to be pulled together. And, as things come up, we're going to address them and we're going to figure them out and we're going to, pull everything together. But I like Darlene's idea of doing a press release of maybe, if Brent will work with us and as a communications officer, and to figure out what we need to get out there. And if we can work with him to do that, that would be fantastic. Get that information out.
So that would include like the different nomination categories, and we can send that out to everybody as well, right? And
Yeah. Yeah, like one of the key things that we needed were those nominations. So now that we have the nominations, then we can move forward, right? Everything else is.
Sorry to interrupt. What was the theme again? I didn't put in the letter.
yeah,
We still don't have a theme.
theme.
So like, even though we sent out the monkey, the survey
Yeah.
monkey, we still don't have an actual land on a theme. So like, again,
Yeah. Like
Pull
what
things-
happened with the
pull things
survey?
together.
Like what was the result of the survey?
There was a lot of trouble with the survey. People did not seem to understand it, and we did not come to a conclusion on that survey.
okay, good to know.
So I think your best bet would actually be just to discuss it and choose something.
Sounds good. Cause that'll also help like identify.
The theme says turtle on there.
Yeah, that was just an idea we had way back. But when we sent out, remember last time we sent out, like you really liked the
Okay.
one that was the resilience one. What was the one that, Darlene, you liked that one? What was it called? Does Michelle remember what it was?
Sorry. If you turn into your,
I
Gala.
don't,
choose and reference that, there, all themes are there.
okay.
Was it like we remember beyond a rise? Or-
Yeah, the-
Yes,
the-
yes, that one.
They had a.
That was mine. I like that
Yes,
one.
yes, yeah.
Honoring the past, shaping the future.
I like that one too.
Honoring the past, shaping the
I
future.
like
Yeah, I like that too.
That's probably my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I know when we were talking about it, we were all like, these are so good.
Yeah,
These should be our like,
Number 2.
but we should land on one today and just go with it from that list.
definitely, because that supports our sponsor letter
Yeah.
and it supports our
Yes.
nomination letter. So we
Yeah.
need a name or a theme, sorry.
Okay, number 7.
Remember, we honor, we rise.
Mhm.
And is it
7 for you?
No, I still like number 2.
Oh.
What's number 2, Naomi? Naomi, what is number 2? Read it out.
Honoring the past, shaping the future.
Yeah, I like that one
Yeah.
too.
Michelle, you like that?
Yeah, because that's moving forward, right?
Are there just people you guys want to vote on? Or is there no?
Eileen, anything?
You're muted.
Yeah,
Can't hear you.
I'm unmuted now. Yeah, I liked, I liked what was it, honoring the past, shaping the future. I like that one.
Okay, let's go with that one then.
Okay,
Yeah,
Want to vote?
yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay.
So that is it.
That's
honoring the
fine.
past, shaping the future.
Yeah, I like that.
Honor the past, shaping the future.
And it's our initial one, so that can kind of, and we want to keep these themes for following years because they're really good.
Yeah, actually they are.
Because I like that because it's not only for First Nations to come together in this truth and reconciliation, right? And if it's about just like we remember, we honor, we rise, right? It's not bringing that spirit of together together we move forward, right? Like,
Just thought.
And I think it actually sounds really good for the first one, because then you're shaping the future, even of your gala, just to kind of grab that recognition for next year. right?
Mhm. Good job. You good with
No.
that, Joan?
yep. Megan, can you send it out in an email so we have the actual writing, like the actual words, and we can all know what it is tomorrow morning?
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah. And like the other thing that I think is going to happen at the auction too is or at the galas, we will have an auction. So that revenue from the auction, I sort of think that we should use that to the garden. Since
so we're looking for donations of art pieces or something?
yeah, of different things. Yeah. And even if we just have like, not make it too large, like try to get 12 items, which is not a lot, and then if each item, let's say, sells for anywhere between $100 and $200, then we would have $2,400 from that. So I really think we should make the motion to allocate some of our funds from our $2,500 towards the gala. It's just then we have money that we can start ordering things right away. We're not waiting for money to come in. We're not waiting. And then we can just replace that money if we make money from the gala. Do people agree with that?
So our fiscal, like we're already, do we go calendar or fiscal?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're,
Calendar is our fiscal.
oh yeah,
Calendar.
so we're already back at January. We're at 2,500 as of now. Okay,
And
well,
when we say you council tomorrow, when they approve your budget, you will have $2,500.
here you go. I thought it was fiscal, like March,
Yeah,
March.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, so, okay.
Well, we might as well spend it all.
Yes, then we'll support this.
Keep in mind that you have potentially Rocks to Action, you have the Bannock Bake Off, you have other events that you want to make sure that you do consider
But
the
it-
fact that if you spend everything now, there's
Yeah.
nothing later.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but in reality, like, we have never spent 1 cent on Rocks for Action. That's all the stuff has been donated. And same
Remember,
with the-
those people are no longer with us, right?
You have spent money on Rocks to Action because you've had
Oh,
honorarium.
yes, the honorarium.
the
So
elder.
that's the only thing we need the money for, is an honorarium for our guest.
And
And
if you spend $2,000, you don't have enough for honorariums for 2 people. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. It's just make
Yeah,
sure that you're
yeah,
considering that
exactly.
you have it.
But we need to know those parameters.
Yeah,
I would be good to spend up to 1,500 in principal.
okay.
And the reason why I put in principal is because like we take 1,500 of our budget too, and should it get reallocated back, then yeah, we can use it, but I don't really want to designate 1,500. That's my opinion.
You don't want to designate 1,500?
Not right off the budget. But again, like I think we'll have a better idea when we look at the work plan and see kind of all of those other projects that we have on the go.
Because in the past, like the things we spent our money on is the elder for Rocks for Action, and then a project, and this is our project. So, and usually the Bannock Bake Off, like we didn't spend any money on the Bannock Bake Off.
What if we go ahead and look at the work
Yeah.
plan and then
Yeah.
come back to the idea of
Yeah.
spending money?
Yeah,
I would like to talk to Eric Bordelis of Home Hardware. I think he would be all over this. I think he
Oh,
would
yes.
really, you know.
he's
and
on my list. Yeah, to
Are you
talk
gonna
to.
talk to him? Because I could,
Yeah.
I could.
The
Yeah.
letter that was drafted did include things about donations.
Hmm.
So if there's an organization or a company or a business of town that you feel is gonna be able to donate something, even if it's something for your auction or something for the swag bags, that's what the letter is for, to reach out
Yeah.
to people
Mhm.
with.
Yeah.
And I did put in the letter areas, if all you have is some of your own business swag that you want to put in
Mhm.
bags, fine. That's great.
Yeah.
That's being a partner.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of getting those out to where they can possibly go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, it is in our work plan, so you guys would be checking off that box too, right? Community relationships and partnerships.
For sure.
So I think the only reason why I'm saying 1,500 from my perspective is because we still have another like 1,000 to work with should some of these other projects come up.
Yeah.
Because even when we did the signage, did you guys have a picture in the paper yet?
No, it never got published. They took the picture and everything, but they never published it.
Good thing to do while we're doing this campaign, I guess.
Yeah.
So you can say we've kind of done some of these projects around town if you've noticed. And then again, it's supporting everyone who wants to participate. Like I think this is really opening those doors for relationships. So
Mhm.
the gala's good. Talking to them about it is good. Building that relationship with people. Guys have a tight timeline.
Yeah. Yeah, and Michelle, I can talk to you next week, and we'll decide who can do. We'll divide and conquer.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's some big businesses and like
Yeah.
even Moosehorn and you
Yeah.
know stuff like that. We can.
So
I talked to
let
Todd
Morgan
and Tracy at Fresh Market.
Yeah. There's some big businesses out there, and even some of the organizations around town may want to support it as well.
Yeah.
And
Say
even-
NNEC,
Yeah.
Tickenhagen,
Canaan.
also, and then the tribal councils, Canet, Wendigo, IFNA.
And Quechuan
yeah.
can help us by printing for us some
K,
promotion. Yeah.
KO.
Yeah.
And then they have the other, what is it, Keto? There's
Yeah.
a new kind of organization. But they're doing the high school students, and family, I don't know, social service for
Eventually.
KI, yeah. So that's kind of new. Then you already have SLIFNA, you might want to put in Minoyao and just the big organizations around
Yeah.
town, eh?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the businesses, like you say, businesses. Yeah.
And even some local artisans can donate to the auction, you know.
Oh, yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, start tapping into some of the artists.
The only
Uh-huh.
other thing I was thinking about was for the awards to be presented. They should be presented by dignitaries from Sioux, like say the OPP detachment commander, and maybe somebody else from the OPP could do it. We could also
Mhm.
invite the NAPS officers to come out and offer a presentation to somebody. So you would need, I guess, 10 awards presenters.
Yeah.
You could get somebody from Laxol to present an award. The chief can come out and present the award, or Elvis, I guess. He'll be our chief. But yeah, so we'll see who can come out. The director for Manayawan could come out and present an award, or anybody else you can think of that might.
And when you do that, you got to think of what you're taking away from the invitee list too, right?
Yeah.
Because you said 120. That's
Yeah.
for like the support, so that's
Yeah,
100.
there's only 100 tickets and 20, we're anticipating 20 staff members, right? Isn't that what we decided?
Yeah.
Staff and volunteers.
And then we have
Yeah.
20 possibly set aside for those people
Yeah.
who are being honored,
Yes.
plus family. Then yeah, like
Yeah.
we're already getting down to like
Very
65,
tight.
70 invitations beyond that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I can remember in the letter, depending on the donation level, you gave them seats.
Yes.
So like Blackstool has 4 seats.
So again, it's coming to crunching numbers and
Yeah.
really honing in.
Hopefully those 4 seats will be the delegates that are presenting awards.
Yes, exactly.
Two birds with one stone.
You demand that.
I know.
For the sports, I don't know, do you would want to come up to the Bombers with somebody from the Bombers?
Why not?
Oh, yeah.
Or coach, or even somebody from the golf club? I don't know.
What about a principal from the school?
Yeah, they could be a dignitary that presents an award.
You know anyone?
I think it fit very nicely.
There you go. Well, slowly coming together. These are just some of the outstanding questions.
And the only thing I
Yeah.
see, it might need a room for safe space for anybody who's triggered or traumatized, and we may need a counselor in there, from Noden maybe, to see if anybody can come out and lend their support that way for us. So,
I'll talk to Adult Ed for the safe space, see if we can use that space.
yeah, a little safe
Is there-
space
Yeah,
for
the
a
right.
room.
Mhm.
What else? An elder, I guess, for the event. Have an elder too. Somebody to do the opening prayer.
Yeah.
And the closing.
Yeah. Once with you, Brent and Naomi, once you've done all the nominations, maybe the next thing you guys could work on is the program.
Mhm.
Like how is how's the program going to go?
Okay.
Yeah. And again, that will have to be done in subcommittee, right? So there's sort of going to be 2 subcommittees, sort of like you guys doing the logistics and then the boots on the ground doing the work. Yeah. And hopefully I was sort of thinking of reaching out to an organization who will come and be boots on the ground the night to help us do work. Like, I don't know who, like maybe Rotary or the Lions or someone like that, to help set up and take down.
Maybe that's something we want to add to our sponsorship letters, like what can be done in kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just say like, we as an organization would be available to supply 4 people at this
Yeah,
time
for
or
work.
whatever.
Yeah.
That might be good to add.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel out for WASA staff. They like to be involved in
Hands-
everything.
Oh,
right?
that's perfect.
And we
Yeah.
have our staff meeting on Friday, and I'm gonna bring some of these and see who's available to do stuff. If it was during the week, we would be like mandated, you guys are going to help.
Yeah. Because we are setting up.
But if it's in the evenings and weekends,
Yeah.
then I'll suggest it and see who volunteers to
Yeah.
come in, but.
Because setup is we've organized that setup is on Friday. So it is during the week,
In the
the
day?
Friday setup. But then
Friday
we have
during the
to
day?
clean up on Sunday, which is not during the week, but definitely set up.
I can update the donation letter to include the theme and that suggestion.
Possible in kind, yeah.
For the in-kind and see. You never know.
Because yeah, as long as they have a contact to say, hey, you know what, we said we can do this in kind, and then they're able to talk to Joan and said, you know, kind of give us like your layout, what do you need for Friday, what do you need for Sunday, and
Yeah.
at the event, and then you have at least that logistics going.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Well, I've also encouraged the use of potentially reaching out to the high school and the college for volunteers.
Mhm.
Their people need volunteer hours. They have a
Mhm.
minimum they have to meet. And let's face it, by April, we're scrambling.
Yep.
So I was gonna send out like this nomination letter and some other stuff to the high school. My husband is the vice principal there. And so just give him an idea of all the categories and like he's got his eyes on the ground knowing where possible some students and stuff like that could be tapped on the shoulder. And then also suggest like volunteering and who wants to get in there as well. And he works with the partners as well, like all KO and Shabuma and Windigo, if not. And so we can probably see how that works through there too, through the school. Yeah.
Anything else on this topic until we get back to the financial aspect?
So do you think we should make a motion now to spend the $1,500?
I thought Naomi wanted to talk about the work plan
Okay.
first.
Okay, let's do that.
If we're okay, then we can ballpark where we're at. So,
We're gonna review the work plan first.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, the updated work plan and education campaign, complete or ongoing and standee project creation of standees has been completed. Additional requests will be reviewed as received. Education will continue to be supported on an as needed and opportunity-based basis. Public space and memorialization. Creation of public space designated for reflection and healing. Council has approved a public space for relocation of the memorial. Relocation of existing memorial to a memorial garden near the Travel Information Center is planned for the spring. Additional elements may be explored as the project progresses, with the understanding of anything outside of the garden requires further council approval and provide input on municipal projects as requested as per 2026 to 31 strategic plan.
okay. So when Joan, when you were talking with Lana, what were some of the costs associated with this? Was there anything like the public space? I couldn't remember if there was going to be like a little display that we were hoping to have.
Can't hear you, Joan. Microphone, yeah.
Sorry, we're doing a physical garden, so we have to purchase like the garden, the actual building material. And then we wanted to do some kind of display. So, and we would need dirt and plants. So the plants can be available for donation, like people can buy them in honor of other people, but we would need to build the physical infrastructure, which it's quite small. It's not that big. And it would be nice to have some type of art application within the garden that can hold some of the shoes or a shoe or something.
Can I ask?
I think we should be able to pull that off easily for $1,000. Like,
What are the dimensions of the garden again?
Megan, do you know the exact dimensions? It wasn't very big. I'm gonna say less than 8 by
Was not,
12.
I have to look it up.
Yeah.
Give me a few minutes. So
So like 4x8 or
8 by, yeah, 12 by 8.
12x8, okay.
Yeah. Which when
Oh,
you're building things, that's dimensional lumber
Yeah.
sizes, right? It
Yeah,
might have even been thinner.
yeah, so Joan,
Might
you
be
and I
4K.
were, Joan, you and I were going to look at the construction costs and the
Mhm.
soil, because if we do that fairly soon, there is a grant in the
Yeah.
United Church, but we need to do it soon because the deadline for the application is coming up.
Okay, so we'll look at that.
United Church.
Yeah, the United Church is a healing fund to which we could apply for some of that, because that's that kind of thing that they probably would fit their whatever.
I'm not sure, but the Anglican Church has some kind of healing fund as well.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
approach.
So is that drafting of another letter to make those relationships? Just a thought, maybe?
Could do, but we can do it by just in person.
Yeah, that'd be good. And then would we, because they did some donations, like, again, like, when we build relationships, we want to
Of
encourage people through like acknowledging and things like that. So,
course, yeah.
so do we have a cost associated with this? Like that we could ballpark at least just
The public space.
mm-hmm.
I thought it was around $1,500 was what was.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
thought that's what it was, but I don't have the report that I wrote to council at the time. No, actually, it's right here. The budget is $1,000 to $1,500. The size of the bed was 6.5 by 3.5 feet. Cost of flowers and soils expected to be $1,500 and $500 each year for plants and perennials.
Okay, so first is 1 to 1,500 and then each additional year is 500
Not including the cost of flower and soil, which is expected to be another $1,500.
on top of every year.
What I have in the notes.
Good job.
Cost
Okay,
that much for,
No, the initial flower and soil was 1,500.
yeah.
And annually 500 for the flowers, because you'll already have the soil, you might.
The
need
flowers are perennials. So you don't replace them every year. They're perennial flowers.
I
So
think we
it's,
were considering there might be some damage or animals or something else.
it was just a safety net, right?
Yeah.
That's
I
a
think it
safety
was
net.
Anticipated.
that's a pretty
Okay.
generous safety net. Like,
It is actually.
Yeah.
yeah.
My
$100.
annuals die at 200.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were the dimensions you mentioned there? They sounded smaller, like 3.5.
They're really small.
6.5 by 3.5.
Uh,
So it wasn't a very large garden bed.
Yeah.
But it was budgeted for 1,000 to 1,500, and then like I said, 1,500 cost and flowers and soils.
And council approved how big a space? Not 6.5. Like obviously there's some like overflow, but we have to have everything in the bed was the requirement, right?
Yes, everything has to be in the bed. If it's outside of the bed, it needs to go back to council because anything outside the bed was being maintained by the municipality, anything inside the bed was being maintained by the committee.
Okay, so this is one thing we do have to consider. When people do go to memorial places, if you've gone to any of the memorial places around our region, they're hanging things in trees, they're putting things on the ground, they're putting things in. So we'd have to ensure that people are aware, like if you're going to add to this memorial, it has to go in the box. Then we have to be aware that should it expand, then the next group needs to know that maybe we need to take this other structure outside. So the flower bed could be, and this is just thought, the flower bed could be smaller than that 6.5, and then you have an actual place to put
Things.
additional things in because there is an honoring and leaving some stuff there,
Yeah.
right?
What about building something above the ground? Like you have your space with your flowers and everything, but I mean, if you build a structure in the shape of a heart and then have little shelves
Oh, yeah.
around the heart,
Both things. Yeah.
and then that way people could put moccasins or
Tobacco.
tobacco or candy on those little shelves. I don't know, or
Mhm.
hang,
Yeah.
or we could even hang something from the, like say a crystal sun ray catcher or something, some kind of,
People will.
yeah,
Yeah.
from the middle and,
Yeah.
There,
we
there
could
could be around
have
the
it like that.
flower bed, around the flower bed, there could actually be a paved area so that if people brought stuff,
If
they
you're-
could,
That increases cost.
yeah,
But I mean, in the future, like, I mean, aside from the flower bed for now,
Yeah.
but I mean, consider building
Yeah,
outside
a
of the flower
structure.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah. Something that holds something. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could, yeah. It could be
Megan, we
metal.
don't have any restrictions on building up, do we?
Is that what I was thinking?
Hmm.
An artificial tree built, I thought,
So it has,
Yes.
and having shelves in place of branches.
Yeah, you could do that
Um,
too.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of the discussions
Yeah.
that
That was,
actually really sounded nice.
Because,
Yeah.
a lot of native artists, who do, native art, usually do a tree of life.
yeah.
Yeah, a tree of life would be really nice,
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
little-
We should
It's
plant we should plant a white pine.
Like pine, yeah.
Well, the only thing about planting a white pine is it won't fit in the box, like in the end. Like it will in the
They'll pick it
beginning,
up.
but in the end, when it's this big, it will be the entire box. Yeah.
True. So let's
So-
slightly bigger box.
Yeah. Well, you can
Depends
approve
on
for a
what
little
you
box.
think.
So I think that realistically, I think our costs were a little high there. I think 1,500 probably would encapsulate everything, including the soil, the plants, and the planter box. Because I remember looking up the planter box at the time, and I believe it was around $800 for the box itself from Sprout Inc., which I think was what the company was. If you were still wanting to go with that, that would leave you $1,000.
Yeah, because
Right.
if with the garden, if we, I don't like the idea of purchasing a plastic box. I'm sorry.
No,
Like
no,
using an organic material, like we could get rough sawn lumber and make one for well
let's
under,
do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the size of the garden, it's not gonna need a lot of soil. And it's just the plants, the perennial plants, which are more expensive, right? Like a perennial plant can run anywhere between $10 to $20 per plant.
I bet you could ask,
The best idea. I'm just throwing this out there because I know we've discussed it. If you're talking about selling the plants or donating the plants to people to do this every year, wouldn't you want to have plants that come out at the end of the year?
Kind of have like a new, like a awakening every spring, like let's plant this again, like just to honor it instead of just, we can forget about it because they're gonna grow again, but like intentionally every year
Mhm.
planting new flowers.
That's the intention. Yeah, definitely.
We could even do a hybrid where we're doing the
Both,
border
yeah.
replant every year and the center of the plants being
We could
perennial.
probably also like separate some of our own plants in our gardens and add to it. Like I have perennial irises and hostas that I can donate. I'll have like tons
Yeah.
of them.
But I think our vision was that they're going to be orange, or the color scheme is orange.
Right.
So as long as your plants are orange.
Lilies.
It'd be nice to have some, maybe traditional healing plants as well.
So
Have tobacco seeds.
Well, you could plant
you need to kind of
tobacco
figure
every
out
year.
what the plan is.
Okay, and we need to associate a cost to it. So we've talked about the box being 6.5 by 3.5 feet. We've taken into consideration that there needs to be a place to put things within that box because anything outside of that, like there has to be a clear idea of why we're putting this memorial there. And then coming up with a cost to support it because it's something we want to do in the spring. So again, are we budgeting towards this of like $1,000? And kind of like you said, Joan, we have some, opportunity to have a box built for us rather than a bought box. And then possible donations for people to, and then how do we get that out there that like, hey, you can buy a plant, or are they just buying their own plants and then going in like
No.
planting it? But that's what I'm saying. Like there has
Yeah.
to be some sort of like,
This is the day, this is the
Yeah,
event,
yeah,
have all
yeah,
the plants ready, come in and buy your thing, or, yeah.
donate there. Okay, good idea. I like that. So I didn't think
And
about
we
that.
can even convince Home Hardware to bring some of their plants there and sell them on the spot and then have a ceremony. And then if people want to buy a plant to put one in, they can.
Mhm.
There would have to be a set number, like this is the vision, and you can buy these plants in honor of people, or
This is
remember
the other
people
thing.
or-
Not only are honorariums for elders, but they're also for knowledge keepers. So if you're going to do something along this line too,
You need an
you
honorarium.
need an honorarium.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're doing ceremony, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah. So I think that we should still just budget $1,000 for this event.
Mhm.
Good.
And then,
How about I'm willing to go to Home Hardware and get estimate for the wood for making the thing. Joan, you sound like you know about plants. Why don't you do a little bit of research and come up with a list of plants that would be
well,
suitable?
the nice thing is Eric Bordelis and his wife are landscape designers. So they have huge knowledge. So last year when we talked about this, I did talk to him about it. So he can just rattle off they can come up.
Well, let's do that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, I think I can get money through the United Church Healing Fund.
Yeah.
So but we need to have a budget for that.
Yeah.
So if you could go back to them and get a list of plants and estimate cost, I'll do the estimate of the planter. How high do you want the planter? Like 2 feet around?
I'd say 2 feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we're
And-
estimating 1,000. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm gonna cut you off.
Yep. That sounds good.
You good with that, darling?
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on to the next thing on the work plan.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm busy eating.
We all did that.
I'm just trying to keep us on track.
Community relationships and partnerships, ongoing, community events, Blueberry Festival, Orange Shirt Day, the Gala Awards, opportunities for collaboration will be explored as they arise. Input on municipal project as requested per the 26 to 31 strategic plan. I don't know if we've seen any of that, but anyway. The events and the commemoration ongoing annual Blueberry Festival, Orange Shirt Day, the TRC Gala Awards. Communication and public information, this is new, so we have to have a website with recent information, events, activities, land acknowledgement, and if approved with audible demonstration. A Facebook page, request has been sent to CAO with detailed information for review. So I don't know if there's any movement on those things. Creation of a traditional protocols guide for distribution. This is new. Create information to be shared with the general public regarding traditional protocols such as information on honorarium, smudging, presenting tobacco, etc. Yeah.
So that's one, if you're hoping to actually create and distribute, you need printing costs.
We can check with QE2N for support in that way.
Yeah.
For a donation.
Sorry.
Yeah. And the reality is,
On your work plan,
Yeah.
there has to be some sort of idea on how to get to it, right?
so the reality is like we won't be printing this year. We would be printing, let's say in January, right? Like it's going to take a lot of work to pull that together. So on this thing, the only thing that requires funding for this year is the garden and the gala and the Elder at Rocks for Action.
We don't have
Mm,
funds for
mm.
Shirt Day stuff.
No, I don't think there's been any funds allocated. Normally, it's just we join in with whatever Slifna or Tiknogan is doing. Yeah, Friendship Center. Thank you.
Well, last year we did the on Orange Shirt Day, we went out with Brent and Joan, and we did the filming of how to say the town's name
Right.
on gong. And we gave everybody gift cards who tried, or actually most of them did pretty well. I was amazed. So that was a little side activity that we did for Orange Shirt Day, and it was edited into one piece by Brent, and it turned out really good.
Yeah, you're going to do something like that this year coming up then?
I don't know what we're gonna do.
But we'd like to do another educational video on the same lines. We just need to figure out what the topic would be. So we did buy the gift cards. Yeah.
How much were the gift cards then? Like $50, $100? What were you doing?
$10 each. I
Yeah,
think.
There were 20 of them for $10 each.
Yeah.
20 for 10, so $200.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
good. That's still good. So
yeah. And then I brought some out from McClellan, $25 ones. We gave out some more. Those
And
were
the gift-
donated.
The gift cards were well received.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, getting to like learn the word is good.
Hmm.
And then Blueberry Festival, so 2 honorariums.
we didn't.
What did we do for Blueberry Festival before? What's
Rocks to Action.
I think it was $250.
Yeah, that was the one in Hudson, but we also had we entered the Bannock Bake Off.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We came in
Was there-
second place.
Was
Yeah.
there a fee with that? There was no fee with that. Was
No,
there?
no fees,
No.
no.
It would have just been your shirts.
We made
Yeah.
our
Costumes, so.
Yeah. Like
I just-
Darlene and
I just-
I paid for all that.
I think Joan took care of that, actually.
Yeah.
And
They
Darlene
They
did
must
the
have our
shirt.
students and staff.
Yeah, I
Oh
supplied
my
the
gosh, that's
shirts.
gonna
I
be-
went to Giant Tiger and I just bought $10, no, $6 or $7 shirts. And I think we made about 10 of them for everybody.
Yeah.
We just painted them. We painted a Sasquatch on
Oh, fun.
because we were team Sabe, which is Sabe is a word for Sasquatch.
Right.
Mhm.
So we honored the Sasquatch or the Sabe. Part of our team.
Nice.
We even had the guy who dressed up as a Sasquatch. He came by. He came through the event and
Is that Homer?
he's gone.
There was a sighting.
Yeah.
But he was having a good time.
Was it Dave?
No, it was Eric Gransky.
Oh, Eric would have had fun, yeah.
Kids ended up chasing him for a little while. He had to run into the woods to get away from him.
That's so cute.
Too funny.
Okay, so right now for that is like 450 for those 2 items. So let's,
I heard 1450 anticipated.
so I want to take into consideration right now, the Rocks to Action over the past few years have been donated. And then there's been some stuff, so we don't have those people a part of this committee anymore. So we do have to consider,
Well, we can ask if he wants to do that again, just on his own. But I mean, we'll help with the honorarium if it's needed.
I would hope,
Yeah.
yeah, because we
Yeah.
use that as an education, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just thinking for like the rocks, the paint, stuff, those were in kind before.
Yeah, we still
we
have
need-
that whole kit. We have
Oh,
everything
good.
stuff.
Okay.
So we purchased everything. We purchased chairs, umbrellas. We've got a pop-up thing now. We have the tablecloths. We have all the art supplies. It's all in a bin. We just grab the bin and go and get rocks and get an elder. So hire an elder to do it. And last year we've had 2 different elders each time. So
That's why I was asking, like,
Yeah.
because last year there was an increase in honorarium. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, like, we can't just give one, right?
we had just one person, didn't we, Megan?
I thought you had only 1%.
Okay,
Yeah, we had
so
one
If you're
person.
hoping for 2, yeah, you would give both people an honorarium. Like you're not just gonna.
Yeah. We just need one person with him because what happened last year was because there were other events going on in Hudson where before we were the only event. So people came and sat where people flowed through this time. So the
Nice.
first year we were able to have the elder do a presentation because everyone was sitting. But last year the elder had to stop and talk to each group that came through. So it wasn't just one thing. So, and he actually did like a little walk around town too. So, which was interesting. So it sort of changes based on what's going to happen in Hudson, right? Because last year Hudson had sort of like a little fair. They had like history stuff in the hall. They had stuff in the seniors. So there was other stuff. There was a little dog show thing. So there was lots of other things to move around. People move through the community.
This cabinet, I know I'm moving on maybe a little bit too quickly, but
Yeah.
it's not on our
Yeah.
stuff here. The cabinet, was that in kind?
No, we bought it from last year's money with our extra money that we had at the end of the year.
We have
So
extra money.
Yeah.
We have 26 cents left.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
good spending that money.
You did
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Appreciate you, Megan.
Yeah.
That I purchased from Indigenous Reflections, and I ended up getting it on Black Friday, and everything was like 10% off plus free shipping. So I was able to get $130 more of items, which was really nice.
Yes.
I just have that box sitting in my office right now.
Awesome. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Especially going forward, right? We can use that. Yeah. Good.
And it's nice that it just, the supplies just add up
Yes.
after a year and you'll have your,
I got a pretty good variety. There's mugs, there's aprons, there's dish towels, there's puzzles. You can come down and see it if you want.
This is swag.
Yeah, this is either stuff that you can, so most of it obviously doesn't, they're not all the same, right? So everybody who's gonna come in might get something different. Or potentially you put them together if you're trying to do a silent auction instead of swag. If you can't get the swag, you put them together in bundles.
Yes. Because they all sound like they could be in bundled.
Most of this is Stormy Angela designed. Most of it, not all of it.
She's on a rise right now. That's amazing. She's doing great. You saw her artwork on the IFNA vehicle. She did the bombers jerseys. Like
Her scarf. You should
Guys,
still being done?
Storm Angela.
oh,
Like there are a lot of talented artists.
okay.
But yeah, you guys are welcome to stop downstairs before you leave if you want to take a look.
I totally will.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so right now we're sitting at roughly $1,400, which would play into 1,000 for the gala.
That's her artwork.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
That's a nice scarf.
Brilliant.
She's showcasing.
If you're very convinced that you're going to be able to get donations from people for the gala, then 1,000 should be sufficient to at least get you through.
I think we'll have no problem getting another $5,000 from the community, like easy.
Easy.
And more.
Letters comes out, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, well, as soon as we get them,
The
Yeah.
address.
yeah, I think so.
So we would need 125 of some things from people.
100,
Oh, you mean for like swag?
Swag.
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, 125 items for swag. Okay, good idea. Good.
I mean, like there could be a potential now for like some stickers if we get a logo, like some of those things that could be a little bit more like associated with the gala that took place.
Mhm.
Because I mean, everybody likes stickers. You put them on your phone,
Mm,
your
water bottles.
yeah, like
Well, we don't
You
have a,
might be able to get, say, the Friendship Center to donate like a stress ball,
yeah.
or the hospital to donate.
The women's shelter always has a ton of
Yeah.
stuff.
That you can put
And
in
on one.
swag.
Swag.
exactly, yeah.
What's the support services again? They always have something good too. Schwaben
Robin Williams.
and
For this year, for the logo, we should just use the Silicone, if we can use the Silicone logo on the bag, on the swag bag. For now,
How many bags do we have downstairs
I
though?
don't know if we need permission.
There's still quite a bit.
Wonder if we
it would be nice to have it from that to show that it is municipality that's.
Brian, HR purchased a whole bunch of grocery bags. When we were giving out stuff to our staff. I can see if maybe we can donate those, like if the municipality can donate them, I can.
Okay.
I have a question too. So, Darlene brought up a good question, like municipality. We're a municipal, well, I can't even speak, committee. when we do an event like this, like, is there anything that bars us from getting our own logo for these events, like that we're hosting? Like, do it like, you know how on the standees we had in partnership with your logo and then the municipality, oh my goodness, the community logo. So and then it said with partnership with Truth and Reconciliation Committee. So like, is there anything we need to know about that?
Logo you're asking about, is that?
Oh, I don't know, because I mean, that could be in the future.
Logo in the future.
Yeah, it could be a
But-
local contest. Like there are opportunities to make it
We
big.
have big
Do we have
content.
keep it under the Sioux Lookout Municipal logo, or is there an opportunity? Because I don't know what that conversation is.
So I don't know. That's the best answer to give you. I don't know, and I would have to ask. As far as I understand it, any committee that is under a municipal umbrella does have to reference the municipality. I'm not sure to what extent, and I will have to ask. It's an answer I just don't have.
And you know what? That's cool because I think that'll help clarify the next couple of year plans, right? Because if we're saying this is the Truth and Reconciliation Committee, but it's obviously under the municipal, then it's just saying, but we're identifying because I think was it Public Works that had the train over the Sioux Lookout Bridge, like that was kind of associated with them, but I don't know. Like, so it's a good thing just to ask. So
When we-
Joan, you're good with 1,000?
Yeah, yep. I'm like Michelle, I'm pretty confident that there's lots of support out there for this project, so
Definitely.
I'm not too
Definitely.
worried. It just that if we have the $1,000, it gives us the logistics that we're not waiting for money to come in, right? We
Sounds
can
good.
probably know certain things that we have to pay for, we can do.
I like that. I'm confident with that.
All right, so anyway, back to the agenda, number 8, we talked about the liability concerns. So that's done, and then 8.2 is the cabinet, and the cabinets are okay.
The cabinet is purchased. It's sitting in my garage, but when I cracked my rib, I could not build a cabinet. So, so I'm planning when I get back, I'm going to spend a day go and the library. I'm going to talk to because there's been a change of management at the library, and we were talking to the old management. So we'll reconnect with the new management. And I'm just going to actually try to assemble it actually there rather than try to move it in the middle of the winter. Glass cabinet assembled, frozen. So just assemble it there because the artifact is in the basement of the library, and then we'll just bring it up and make sure it can stand and be in there.
How long is it in the library for?
Hopefully forever. Or
Okay.
if someone wants to borrow it, we can move it, but hopefully forever with, get it
Yeah.
out there. Get it out of the basement.
All right, thanks,
You did leave, eh?
okay.
Eileen?
She's not in the waiting room, so I'm guessing she either lost connectivity or had to leave.
Oh,
She sent a note. She's put it in the note. She had to leave.
Oh, okay.
okay. So number 3, the updated work plan, everything seemed to be okay.
Mhm.
So that'll be going to council tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes.
Yeah.
There is one thing.
Oh,
No. I want to leave Naomi. I'm like, I'm sorry. Now that we have Michelle and Elvis who are a part of it, was there any ideas going forward for Blueberry Festival events that you had? Or are you good with what we're going forward with? So there's just to think of in the future, but so far we have the Rocks of Action that the TRC. But if there is anything that you're thinking of in the future that could be considered for the work plan would be good.
And
Other than-
organic bake off.
Oh, yeah,
too.
the Bannock
We have
Bake
our
Off.
organic bake off. It's our big event.
Now I know that here we have like a creation of traditional protocols guide for distribution. So thoughts, what Megan and I kind of brought to our attention is like, even in the work plan, there has to be some sort of like milestones or structures you guys are going to be looking at. So if that create information to be shared with the general public, when you're working with knowledge keepers and you're working with those who are like having some thoughts that there is some exchange of cultural protocol, as well as those who aren't culturally protocol, like there are other ways that you need to be engaging. I do need to bring to attention that like even though we're Indigenous, not everyone is traditional. They're faith-based as well. And we can't just signify the both because they are both represented by First Nations people. Again, this also goes into the aspect that we have a lot of people who are non-Indigenous that have knowledge and have had that opportunity to share. So how, like, this isn't just about like, from our perspective, and I say our perspective lately, this is about a collective perspective, going back to that relationship building that we talked about on page 1, like community relationships and partnerships. True reconciliation comes from healing. We can point fingers and say they need to heal. However, we got to point the finger back at us. We need to heal. You need to heal. Like the reality is when you're open and you're a lot more self-aware and you have that opportunity. And just like Darlene pointed out, we have an opportunity when people are potentially could be triggered. We don't know those triggers. So just having those safety nets in place. So when we do kind of these traditional protocols, even if this kind of moves into next year, but throughout this year, you're able to build those relationships and connections with people to see what that is, because it's protocols just for even the whole municipality. Like we know a lot of people here, and you can have those relationships, and you don't want them to get blurred. Like some are professional and some are personal. So like how do we work with each other? Because it is about true reconciliation, like working with each other, communicating. So, Miigwech.
Yeah, I don't know what the, when we talk traditional, and then what you mentioned, is that a lot of our people are not actually traditional. They're traditional Christians. I mean, they live on the land, but they still practice Christianity. If we look at some of the communities, they have more than one different kind of church. Sandy Lake has about 7 different kinds of churches. You know, they have Roman Catholic, they have Anglican, they have, I don't know what else they have. But there's like 7 of them I heard. And so there might be a whole new wording to, I think traditional came up at one point because we were talking about honorariums, and then we got into talking about smudging and prayer and tobacco and that kind of thing. So, um, if we do honor everything, the diverse spiritual practices, maybe you could reword it at some events, because if we have um, the unmarked graves and any ceremony that happens there, I'm sure we're gonna end up with different types of people who are gonna be praying. Look at Bill Morris.
Mhm.
He's a, what is he? A
Reverend.
reverend. And you know, if he comes to the event such as this in the future, then he'll be praying in his way. And there's a lot of other ordained people in the north, right?
Mhm.
That go to school and they get there are a lot of women
Yes, love them too.
that are doing that. And they're becoming spiritual leaders that way. So, yeah, we may have to reconsider wording this.
I like that combining of all the different spiritual practices. That's another way of reconciliation too, where there's no separation between the way you
Yeah,
you have your faith, because it is all it's all related, right?
Yeah.
We're all just looking for something.
yeah. So we might want to reconsider just that section in the future for discussion.
And because we'd be also looking, would we defer this to next year? And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because the money's accounted for.
Yeah.
It does say creation for distribution. It
Mhm.
doesn't say actually distributed.
Yeah.
What's
So I think creation
comes to this table? Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good.
And it realistically might take 2 years to create it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good points. Okay.
But for now, I guess the word honorarium is in there, so it'll, it'll,
You'll be
it'll be
aware.
part of the documentation for council to look at and realize that, yeah, we've got to pay honorarium. And, for tobacco, we might want to spend money on tobacco under this, so. Anyway, okay, so we'll leave that for now. Is
Mhm.
that okay?
I'm good.
Okay. And then the review of the municipal policies through the cultural lens, cemetery bylaw. That's on hold. On hold is the cemetery memorialization events, with the children of, went missing or were buried in unmarked graves for the zone. Um, and Bringing the Children Home Initiative hasn't really started doing that yet. So we're still on hold for that. So that'll be the updated work plan, I guess, which will be presented tomorrow. Okay. And then number 4, 8-4. So we'll just move on. Chamber of Commerce events calendar. Anybody want to?
That was Michelle that asked to, that's it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so the chamber, when I went there, they were talking about being able to support any events and stuff that are going on by putting them on our municipal calendar. It's pretty easy to just go on the site, fill in the information, and it gets put up on the calendar. And the chamber may also help promote that through, I think people sign up for a text and you get all your events, like even Bombers games or whatever that people want to promote out there. So if we can put it through those channels as well to get it pushed out there. And then the chamber does stuff on Facebook and other things as well.
Nice. So they take on some of that communication for us because that is good. We're coming up to some roadblocks and it's not negative. It's just like, how do we work within this? So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome to hear.
I'll check with Christine about being able to do this, like, and if it's with a fee or not. I think it's a fairly minimal fee, but if they would just do that for the community as well.
Yeah, if there's a fee, let us know.
Yeah, just for the chamber part of things. Otherwise, like the municipal website with the calendar of events, you can just do that anytime.
Well, like, I'm sure that we'd be able to post some things on our Facebook page if we prepared them and sent them in. So if you did want to advertise something about these events that we're talking about, I just have to have the information so I can send it for approval. That's all. Or I have to have direction to create the information so I can send it for approval. That's what we've got going on.
Right. One thing I forgot about that, because it's been a while since I was at the chamber meeting, but one thing that they're looking to do is to have like a QR code, some stickers or a pamphlet or something that you put in like visitors bags that'll have the live calendar of events. And even at like the Mayfair Theater, using one of those poster boards to put in, here's all your January events, here's all your February events happening in Sioux. They're talking about life and moments, right? All the little things that people get together and put on, because they don't have, movie theaters and bowling alleys. But what we do is we get together and we put on things that bring us joy, right? And so how do people coming to the community find those? Well, we're going to have them on the calendar. We'll have it on that QR code that you just scan, and you'll be able to see all the events. So that's what they're doing with that.
Nice.
Thank you. Okay. Good to know.
Now,
Right,
before we
no.
go too much further, shouldn't we go back and do a motion for the $1,000? Do we need to actually do the motion, Megan?
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So do you want me to do the motion?
Public
Okay.
space.
So I make a motion that we allocate $1,000 of the 2026 TRC funding towards the Truth and Reconciliation Gala on April 25th. So we need a seconder, right?
1,000. Right?
Yeah. The gallon, or louder.
Joe moved, you second.
All in favor? Yep. Okay, $1,000 for the gala. And should we do the public space $1,000 too?
No, I think we have
Yeah.
lots
No,
of time.
that's already been done.
Oh, okay, I didn't
Yeah.
write it down.
That was before I even went to council last day.
Well, the other thing that we should probably discuss is ticket prices. Are you guys okay with us just once we figure out? I'm meeting with the caterer at the end of January to come up with the menu, then they'll come up with a price. So once they come up with a price, then we should just figure out how much the tickets are. I think they should not be a lot. Like I would say $120. What do people think of that?
What again?
tickets.
What I'd like to see, because maybe you already sent it and I didn't. This is just me. I'd like to see some kind of like estimates just for all the costs associated. It just kind of helps plan a little better because I know you
Yeah.
estimated 10. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay. And that might be in that file you sent. I'm just not gonna lie. I
Well, we
haven't
won't, we
looked at
don't
it in
know all the,
depth.
yeah, we're still waiting for the prices. Like Michelle has to secure how much Nadia wants to be paid, how much the MC and how much the caterer. Those are the big ticket items. Then the other stuff is smaller.
I
but
don't
we
even
need
have an
to-
idea of like
Yeah.
the ballpark, but I said like we will be paying you for your time, but for Nadia, but I don't know what our budget is because I know
Yeah.
she's worth a lot. When you look at her 4
Yeah.
pages of her resume, she's worth a lot.
But we should lock it down. We should try to figure out with her at least figure out what her expectation is. Because if we're going to go out and secure like a sponsor for her, we need to know what it is. So if you can secure those, Michelle, the cost of the MC, the cost of the keynote speaker, and then I can secure within the next couple of weeks the cost of the catering. And then from there, then we can decide and get our tickets going.
There's one thing I do need to mention is that if you were going into agreements with people.
Yeah.
The only person who has the authority to sign those is the CAO, so they would need to be brought in.
Okay.
And Brian would have to be the one to do that.
So like the agreement has to be brought in?
Mhm.
Anything that you're binding the municipality for.
Yes.
Would need to be brought in, yes.
To be discussed first before finalized.
You can say, yes, this is what we want to do. I have to go take this contract and get it signed. Once the contract is signed, then you're good. He does have the authority to say no.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did have a meeting with Brian about this because I said, well, how can we proceed? Like we're going out and we're negotiating these things without, like, do we have to keep going back and forth? And he said, no, you do have the authority to do the negotiations, but when you get to that final legal contract, you don't have the authority to sign it. Then you have to just like, so you can say to her, let's just take a figure, let's say $2,000. She wants $2,000. You can say, okay, I'm going to go to the municipality and we'll get everything organized. And she might have a contract like the Kenora District Services Board, like they have a contract, but they donated it in kind. There's no fee. But if there was a fee, Brian would have to be the one that signed that.
Okay. One thing is being able to flyer here.
That's what I was just about to ask. Is there travel costs associated,
Yeah.
which then falls under per diem or a contract? So all of this still has to be done.
Yeah.
You just need to have it like itemized,
Yeah.
I would suggest,
Okay.
so that you know this is the itemization for what we asked for.
Who else would like to be on the subcommittee with me as we discuss like what we'd like her to do with that and how that looks and then we can finalize how she brings it together and a price on that,
We have 3 before we hit quorum.
right?
Once you hit quorum, you have to have an official meeting. It has to be streamed and we have to be there.
Right.
Just remind me.
How many people are on your committee already?
Well, what we've been doing is we've been making working committees like you guys did the awards, the 3 of you. And then like over here, Michelle and I, so the working committee is sort of broken down into little subsections. So
Yeah.
even though
They're
there's six
working.
of us on the working committee, we're not all working on the same thing at one time and at the same meeting. It's if you're sitting in a room in a meeting together. So you've got that, we can only have 3 at a time, but we can all work on it, but we can only, like, if we're gonna do the tickets, we could have 3 people together and decide. We could have 3 people like working on the speaker, but not all together at the same time. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that, leave that
Yeah.
contract on the subcommittee. I don't think it needs to come here unless,
yeah, it's 3 people. You
Needs
can
to go
only have
Megan.
3 people on
But you guys
working
have-
on one thing at the same time.
The other option you guys have is in your terms of reference. It does say if you want more frequent meetings for any specific purpose, we could look at more than, meeting before February 17th.
they have an ad hoc.
You
yeah.
are kind of at the mercy of when council chambers is available, plus when I'm available. Because I've got, it's year end. I've got a lot going on. So if you wanted to look at meeting more often, we could certainly discuss it.
Well, I think we should plan like towards the end of March, like that we have a meeting the last week in March, the first week in April, and the second week in April. We should
I
plan
agree.
those. Yeah,
Last week in
and book
March,
them now. Yeah.
second week in April.
No, first week. So
First
we
and-
have 3 meetings.
first and-
Last week of
to-
March,
for all-
first week of April, second week
So
of
Run a
April.
week for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, leading up to the event. Yeah.
and I agree with that because if we have nominations, we still have to go through it as a committee. Now, which, now that Megan's brought that up,
Did I bring up? I'm
are
sorry.
we gonna do in camera if we know people's nominations? We don't need them to want to know their nominations beforehand. do we?
No, I thought that with the
Go out
awards,
and look for that.
We could go out of camera? Okay, okay, we would premise it within the meeting, but we'd say like, okay, I like that. Cause Darlene, Brent and I talked about that and we said, how many meetings are we gonna have to go through the nominations?
All right, so I'm looking at my calendar for those couple of weeks. I'm gonna need a little bit of flexibility on what day, because the last Tuesday in March, I will not be here. So I will need a little bit of flexibility to make these dates happen, but I will have to check council chambers availability as well, because sometimes they're both in advance.
We just want a day every one of those weeks, just one day. So even if they don't coincide with the Tuesday, I'm just giving that recommendation, just a day, a time, and then we'll have to just make it work.
Do we think like March 31st, do you think that's too late? Like, what if we brought it up one more week and give us one more week to like go through the nominations and get the plaques? Like,
I'm with you. With you, that's why I say like we
We can go mid-March and right after March break.
Yeah.
And then every week after
yes,
until the event.
yes,
That's-
at least have.
doesn't matter how much time you give people, if they're gonna leave it to the last minute, and they do, right? They'll leave it to the last minute. So if you give them 2 weeks, they'll get it in 2 weeks. If they give them 4 weeks, they'll get it in 4 weeks, right? So I think if we shorten our time a little bit and make people think faster.
Well, I think there's a before February 1st, you can even ask for the end of February. That gives people a month to submit, gives you time to look them over, gives you time to vote on who it's going to be. And that way you have enough time to potentially get the awards personalized.
Will that be enough time to have everything written out and advertised like in the papers and on the radio and all that stuff? Like,
Paper
Yeah,
costs. We don't.
that gives us 5
Well,
weeks.
yeah.
5
If you
weeks.
want to do that, you have to have budget for it. We can put it on website, pretty much at the drop of a hat. I just need it.
We can forward that to our own.
I mean, when we send a press release to the paper, then I'm thinking that he can come forward and start doing the story on it. On the upcoming.
Oh, yeah.
No,
As that's part of the, right, as part of a story instead of having,
More information
yeah,
right.
to nominate someone and go here.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
That would cut back on
it
the
would be, yeah, if we,
costs.
Which could come out of that 1,000. Again, that 1,000 is there, but whatever's for initial, right?
And then.
And we'll have to allow Joan to help us with that.
Add, it would probably cost anywhere from $250 to.
the last
But
time I
then-
took out a newspaper ad that was decent size, I believe it was around $600.
Yeah,
I'm sure there are smaller ones.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're not insignificant amounts. But I can certainly try and find what that would be and send it out.
Yeah,
This circles back to the Chamber of Commerce website, Facebook page, being able to kind of like put that out there immediately. Secondly, when we go back to the work plan, I'd like to make the distinction between the municipal website has an update on what the Truth and Reconciliation Committee's goals are. Doesn't have to be the work plan of the year, but just say what the committee is for, what was structured, how it was structured, blah, blah, blah. And then the updates we could possibly use until something moves a bit more within municipality, that commerce is able to be used for all the events, so to speak.
So Brent and Brian were talking about the Facebook page, because Brian had some questions about maintaining a single voice, who's going to do the updates. The list that Brent gave us was quite involved of when things would be posted, how they would be posted. It was like, but who's doing this? Who in the committee has the time and the want to do it? And I don't know that he's gotten those answers yet.
Which would still be further discussion because as a volunteer member, it is sometimes it is difficult because my next question is directly to you, Megan. I need your help with making sure this letter like has the same voice, even with the sponsorship letter. So I can send you this, but it was Darlene, Brent, and myself that looked over the nomination. This one first. Yeah, the nomination first, but I would like it to, one, obviously have the watermark and logo of municipality, but it was just a subcommittee thing. But we need to be able to have that continuity because it looks and sounds better when it reads better.
Absolutely. So you just want me to go over this and because obviously I'm wondering
prettier? Yeah.
So just make it in my voice because that's what I
Yes, definitely. And then in your in Megan's voice said, but then this, and I know the only thing is I won't send it to you until I get feedback from Brent and Darlene because it is part of our subcommittee, and then we'll just kind of move forward. But it's just if there's anything.
got a copy. I can start on it. Okay. When are you meeting with your subcommittee?
Darlene? I do need to, I'd like to finish the nomination by Friday, like finalize that nomination, which would again have
yeah, so that would be
the proper headings and stuff, but
next
it would,
week sometime.
if we could get it by like next week.
Yeah,
Next week? Okay. These things do require a signer on them. Who will that be?
And
Will that be Darlene as a member of council, or was that be you as the person who put it together and that I'm assuming is collecting these?
Gowan, I'm going to give it to
Or-
Darlene.
Or collecting
Yeah.
these as your staff resource?
I'd love it if you collected it because then it all goes in one. I know Megan's like, come on, Naomi. We just love your organizational skills. How's that?
You know what? I have, if you saw the amount of emails that I have that I don't delete, I'm at like 80% of capacity. I have to clean that stuff out.
wow.
So don't think I'm organized. But I have references. But yes, I can work on that. I'll work on what you've got here. And try and send you something. What day is today? Today's Tuesday. Got council. Doing what 19s. Got interviews. By Monday.
And that's
I'm
what
not
I said,
gonna post by Friday because I don't think.
No, next Friday. It
Okay.
wasn't this Friday. It was next
Next-
Friday.
I-
That way,
next Friday.
yes, that way we still have opportunity to meet as a committee. And if there's any updates, we can send to you. But I wanted to give you at least a template.
Well, if I know when your committee is actually meeting, I can try and have an updated version for your meeting for you to go over and make changes to. And that way there's less to change.
You want to do next Tuesday?
Mm,
What's your schedule look like?
Maybe Wednesday,
Yeah, I think I have a meeting.
If I get it to you by Wednesday, then?
Wednesday the 20th. Yeah,
Okay. I will try.
so you,
Otherwise, I'll just take your notes.
That's okay. That's perfect. Thank
But
you.
like I said, unfortunately, it is year end. And that is when we close off all of our pensions and that's my job. So
So I'm busy.
And it's actuary season. Actuary, I like that. No, I said an actuarial report. Oh, it's the entire municipality's sick information and everything, and I have to compile it. Like it takes so much time because
Oh, my goodness.
each individual person. January, February are not normally times that I have time.
Right? Well, thank you for this.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Okay, so we're done the number 8 items for discussion then. And number 9, the work plan, and we've already talked about that. And number 10, the next meeting date, February 17th. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be out of town. I have but I mean the meeting could still go on. I'm meeting on the 17th and 18th in Toronto with NAN Women's Initiative. So gonna be kind of busy that
Oh.
first day. So,
See if we have quorum.
yeah, as long as I guess everybody's here, Brent and
Well, if you guys want to move it, I'm actually not going to be here that day either.
oh,
What day we
So it'll
looking
be
at?
Michelle on her own. So if you guys did want to move it, like say up a week to the 10th, we can do that.
yeah, I have nothing on the 10th.
That sounds good.
Okay, because we wanted.
I'm not available those 2 weeks.
Oh,
The
Okay.
9th to the 20th, I'm not even here.
You want to go back to the 24th then?
Of February? What was the day? I thought you said the 17th.
Yeah, 17th was the next meeting date, it says here.
Is that pushing it too late?
Plus we have our subcommittees getting the work done,
Yeah.
but
I think, and we have the working doc. I think the 24th will work. That's 1 month actually from,
yeah, once we
Like,
have
not
the letter.
Thursday.
Yeah, that's smart then.
24th,
Okay, I'm
next
free.
meeting date, February 24th.
I will confirm council chambers is available.
At 11 a.m. usual time. Okay. And then, our next, item is, number 11, motion to adjourn. Over. Naomi and Joan. And all in agreement? Yes. And show of hands? Yeah. Okay. And the meeting is now adjourned. So
Right.
thank you, everybody.
We will be disconnecting. Goodbye, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hi, John.